Hi, and welcome back to the Oorah Live Laptop and iPad giveaway. We are here still in the heart of Borough Park in the brand new Deli 52, newly renovated, with their executive chef, who formerly of Kosher Delight brought his exotic Chinese menu here, which we just finished sampling, as I'm sure all the boys and men can attest over here. Yes, everybody's feeling good. Everyone remember to say Al Mechia? Okay. Please go to the ticker on bottom, click on it, oorah.org, enter for your chance to win a laptop and iPad. And of course, while you're there, if you enter to win something in the live event Matzah Shabbos, the Chinese auction, if you enter for $40 or more and you win a laptop, you'll win a laptop and an iPad. Besides, with me right now is Rabbi Maimon.
Yep, that's Rabbi Maimon Elbaz, a big fan of Oorah. From the earliest days. And I say, how lucky are all my friends that are associated with camp in the summer or during the year with Oorah, because you make the frum happy, you make those that don't know about Yiddishkeit happy, and what could make Hashem happier than knowing there's an Oorah out there changing the face of the planet and making it a lot more attractive. You know, sometimes a person has like a face remake where they go and put on makeup and they have their nose, nose job, they fix things. I think that Oorah is making Klal Yisrael so beautiful that Mashiach is going to recognize us. See, he wants to come, but sometimes he doesn't recognize who's the Jew. But thanks to Oorah, he's going to say, these are Avram's Kinderlach, and pretty soon Oorah is going to be in the forefront with the Gula Shalema. You'll see.
Now, Rabbi Maimon over here, in case you don't know him, most of you should know him. He has a weekly radio broadcast. He is known as the Children's Maggid. He is the founder of Torah Shows. Yep. He has many other things. Let me
tell you what Torah Shows really is.
Whereas one of the prizes in the Chinese auction is $1 million. What would $1 million do for Torah Shows?
That's a good question. Well, one thing's for sure, if whoever wins this $1 million should make another branch of Oorah, because that's what really is going to make us all winners, that we help bring Yiddish and Kinderlach back to the Rebbeinu Shalom. But I think that $1 million would probably mean moving to Eretz Yisrael and starting a base medrash over there.
So you want to go further into Torah Shows, making it a global phenomenon.
A children's Torah center where kids come after school.
That's the answer.
And I don't want to say this, but we don't watch movies in the movie house in the frum world. But I always dreamed that the Hamisha world should have a base medrash that has technology showing beautiful Torah movies. Because there are mechanchim today, like Eli Teitelbaum, who made quality movies that will show us the beauty of Yiddishkeit. What does it mean, a mitzvah? And many people don't even see these. But if there would be one center, a children's Torah center, people could come and they could learn, just like the Living Torah Museum, and they could become closer and closer to Torah. So that would be some well-spent money.
So Maimon, tell me, how did you get started in this 20 years ago?
Okay, so I ran an after-school program, and I always brought yeshiva boys to entertain the kids. So I had to track down talent. I would find a juggler, a magician, a clown, but I always wanted it to be a ben Torah. Why should I take money that the kids are paying, hektish money to the shul, and go hire a clown, a magician, or juggler who's really going to use the money for, Dvarim B'Telem? I'd rather support yeshivas, Talmidei Chachamim. So Hashem helped me find a lot of great people. One person was a man named Rabbi Helfand. He made a movie about Eretz Yisrael. When you watch this movie, you were ready to go home, grab your suitcase, throw everything you love in that suitcase, and get on the next plane. I brought him year after year, and I said, wow, your movie about Eretz Yisrael just makes me feel I want to be there today. Kitzer, he's about 70 years old, and he said his feet hurt, and he can't keep coming to my program. So I said, what? The kids have to see Eretz Yisrael. So he couldn't come. So I thought to myself, who has the most pictures of Eretz Yisrael? Rabbi Eli Teitelbaum from Camp Sdei Chemed. I asked him, can I have pictures? He gave me his whole collection. He says, no charge, keep it, enjoy it. Then I started showing people the show about Eretz Yisrael. Then I said, you know what? Why don't we make other shows? So I started a contest. I said, whoever brings me a picture of themselves doing a mitzvah, I'll give you $1. One kid gave me 60 pictures of different mitzvahs. Sleeping in the sukkah. He gave me a picture of Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt in Eretz Yisrael. I was blown away. He gave me all types of creative pictures. I gave him a set of Shas. Another boy gave me the Lamed Tes Malachis acted out by human beings. I gave him a Palm Pilot. That was the old-fashioned iPad. So bottom line, when I got these pictures, I said, why not make a movie? Why not make movies? And then before I knew it, I saw that Avos Ubanims were inviting me instead of the clown, the magician, or the juggler. And guess what? The kids were having a better time. They're watching Torah stories, Midrashim, Vartlach, and the best part, interactive riddles. If they answer my riddles, they can get goldfish, they can get ice cream, they can get dollars, prizes. And before I knew it, it started about 13 years ago, the shows. We have on all different valuable topics, and I say, Ashrei Ayin Rasa. Lucky is the guy that watches Torah shows or Torah Vision instead of all the narishkeit that's out there.
Let me ask you, Rabbi Maimon, can you give us an example of one of these?
Yes, yes. Oh, of course. Okay. Everyone loves to do, let's say, tzedakah. But let's say a guy has no money on him. He doesn't get paid to the 15th of the month. He gets a check every 15th of the month, and his wife uses it right away. Now, he's got to go right now. Today's it's not the 30th. He wants to do it tzedakah today. He can't wait 2 weeks. What's he going to do? Give the poor guy a post-dated check?
I owe you.
So, I owe you. So, I ask my students, and I tell them, I'll give you $5 if you tell me how a penniless person without $1 in his pocket, he can still do the mitzvah of tzedakah. So the kids are da, da, da. I say, come on, come on. Then I show them, the Rambam says the highest level of tzedakah is getting someone a job. We all know people that need a job. So put your head together like a shadchan and say, so this guy's a Baal Kaireh. There's 2 shuls that need a Baal Kaireh. They're each paying $100 to read. Sir, go call him. I just got him a job. I just did tzedakah without a penny spent from my pocket. So sometimes you could do a mitzvah with creativity. The Rambam says the highest level of tzedakah is getting someone a job. I didn't embarrass him. I didn't give him a handout of a $1 bill and now he has to blow his nose. I got him a job, a coveted job. So you see, that's a riddle that teaches you how you could do mitzvahs sometimes by just using your brains.
Just tell me, I see here, it says you're where is it, on the back here? That you got a skirmish from a lot of different rabbis.
Yes, as a matter of fact, before I do a Torah show, I try to show it's at least one gadol. So I went to Ramatzio Solomon and I showed him the one I'm benching. He was laughing. I'll give you an example of this show. We say in benching, but kids sing it, they say it, but do they really feel what they're saying? No. So I show them a movie of what those words mean. It starts with the clouds becoming dark. Suddenly there's a crack in the sky and you see lightning light up the sky. The thunder. And then after the sound of breaking the silence, raindrops come. The grass gets wet and it starts to grow. You can see with technology, grass moving. Then a cow comes, eats the grass. The cow's enjoying himself, and then before you know it, the cow is taken to the farm and he's being milked. That milk is being shipped to the ice cream plant and also to the cheese factory. Then you see milk being turned into flavors of ice cream. Then the cheese going on to pizza. Then I say, watch if you would have this kavanah. Hazan Nesai. Hashem feeds the world. Look at the cow. Hashem's feeding him the grass from the rain that grew. And now the cow is going to produce milk. And that milk's going to get it to my favorite ice cream shop and my favorite pizza store. So Hazan Nesai Kulai. Hashem feeds the whole world, every one of us, but even the animals that we're going to enjoy. I had a piece of lox this morning. It was geschmack. Hashem fed that salmon 2 weeks ago before he was caught. Hazan Nesai Kulai to Bechein. Look how beautiful is the pizza with all the toppings. Bechesed. Look how many varieties of ice cream. And Barachamim. How when you eat it, you feel so relaxed, so comfortable. So that's an example of showing Torah shows what it means when you bench. Ramatzio was laughing. I went to Chicago. Rabbi Levine said, show me your animal show. I showed him how many mitzvos we do with animals. It's mind-boggling. From the mezuzah on the door, from the Sefer Torah that's written on the cloth of a kosher animal. And then I show so many more examples and how we could see that animals help us every day. The beautiful suit we wear came from the wool of a sheep. And when the kids see this, they start having more emunah in Hashem. And the goal of my shows is to empower emunah. And that's why I love oorah. Because oorah is all about reminding the Jewish community how lucky they are that Hashem really cares for them, loves them, and wants the best for them. And more strength to oorah.
Now, what do you think of Ura's frontman, Reb Fivish over there? I mean, he kind of empowers.
I love him. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I do my antics, I go to a bungalow colony and I have to get kids to follow me, I think in my mind, how would Fivish do it? So I started singing, bum ba da dum, bum ba da dum, and before I know it, I'm humming his song, and this way the kids start following, they hear the song, and before you know it, there's like a trail, like the Pied Piper, and I give out my flyer, and I say, come to the shul 8 o'clock, we'll watch a show, and I think you should mass produce Fivish. I think every Jewish community needs a Fivish. Fivish can also be there, not only with his sense of humor and his personality, but to remind people to be giving. So, you know, a lady passed away last week. She had almost $1 million, but she didn't have a will and she didn't have relatives. The tenant of this woman is trying now to claim that that I was close to her and I took care of her and she was disabled and she sold me the house, and he's trying to take over I don't know how much of her money. But if people would sometimes stop and say, am I giving enough? Am I contacting people? If I can't give, maybe I could call a guy I heard he just did a great business deal and tell him, hey, you know what, there's some kids that might not be in camp this summer, but thanks to Ura, we'll be able to get them into Yeshiva Shekam, boys or girls. They'll have the best Shabbos of their life. They'll have the best learning experience, and one day they're going to have grandchildren sitting in Kailo because you made a phone call to tell a Gevir that don't forget Ura's auction is today.
Thank you. Rabbi Maimon, how do people get in touch with you if they'd like to see
I have an easy email, dearrebbi@gmail.com. Rebbe is spelled Rebbi. I always wanted to be a Rebbe, you know.
And
I actually am a Rebbe.
And that's the best way for people to get in touch with you, to bring Torah shows to their community?
Yeah, so a guy called today from Lakewood, from the Racham Estifka camp, and I told him like this. I said, get me your email, say hi to me, I'll send you my brochure, I'll send you some happy customers that can refer, you know, which show they loved most for their event, and then I try to customize it. Like if Bells invites me, I do my homework and I put like 20 Belzer flavor pictures in the show. If I go to Bubba.
Do you speak Yiddish now?
I have 2 shows in Yiddish, which means pre-recorded.
Amazing.
My favorite 2 I put in Yiddish. And a guy just called Friday, you have to hear this. He says, we're making Achnasa Sefer Torah in Baltimore, can you come? I told him I already have a show. Every Sunday I do a show for the public where if I'm not ready to perform, I play one of the Hamisha videos that have a good hechsher. Not the ones that look like a television show with a yarmulke. I'm talking about ones that were made with an ehrlichkeit. There's a big difference in the market today between the videos that have Yer Shemayim and Teichen and the ones that are more entertainment to kill time. So I try to perform or I try to present. So this Lag BaOmer, I wanted to make a big ice cream party, and I get this call Erev Shabbos as I'm dismissing my class from Yeshiva Torah MS, and they say, can you come to Baltimore Sunday? I said, I have a show Sunday. They said, well, make it worthwhile. I said, but why don't you just get a magician? I told them there's a guy, Magic Maish. He's a frum guy. He's a Ben Torah. He'll do magic, and he'll come and he'll juggle fire and everything. So you know what the guy told me? He says, if I wanted Barney, I would have got Barney. It's Achnasa Sefer Torah. I want a Torah show. So I went out there. He made it worthwhile. And let me tell you something. The men, women, and children that were there were not only captivated, they were steiging. Smack in middle, we had an impromptu concert of Kinderlach singing V'zakeni Legato Banim Meir Mesayil and B'Torah B'Mitzvahs. This is the magic that comes from Torah, because the neshama feels it. And Pikudei Hashem Yishar M'Samchei Lev. You could try to make someone happy with a good joke, maybe a good trick, but the neshama knows what's going to make it happy. And that's what Torah Shows is all about. Fun, creative shows for bas mitzvahs, birthday parties, Malava Malkas, camps, yeshivas, schools, you name it.
Well, first of all, Maimon, I'd like to thank you for...
Okay. You want to ask a couple of riddles?
Oh.
Okay, Shmuel, want to ask you a couple of riddles.
Okay.
Because the truth is, riddles make people start thinking, they start using their brain. Okay, I'll give you an easy riddle. What's the first mitzvah you do after your bar mitzvah? Everyone says tefillin. That's not the right answer. The first mitzvah is having emunah in Hashem. There are some people, like the scientists out there, that as much as they see the marvels of the world, our planet Earth is traveling 67,000 miles per hour in orbit around the sun with such exact perfection, but they want to act as if the world's without Hashem. The first mitzvah you have is to be a Maimon, to mekabel on yourself Malchus Shemayim, to say Shema, to think about V'ahavta Hashem when you say it. This is the first mitzvah. Let me give you a few more riddles. Here's a riddle that's pretty easy. I can't see you and you can't see me, but I'm talking to you. Who am I? And this is a mitzvah. This is not a telephone conversation. Again, I can't see you and you can't see me, but I'm talking to you. Who am I? So the kids start saying Hashem. I say Hashem can see you. Yeah. Then I tell them, Birkas Kehanim. You're not allowed to see the Kayin because the Shekhinah is coming to his hands. He can't see you. This is his talus is on him. But he's talking to you. He's giving you a message of bracha. And that's something we have to always remember. Then there's the easy riddles. Like, for instance, which bracha you only say once a year. So people will remember the bracha on the trees, or the bracha of the Halik Nirsha Yom Kippur, or the bracha of Nachim on Tisha B'Av. Those are riddles that everyone knows. And then I like making my own riddles. Whenever I see a Chiddush that no one knows, I turn it into a riddle. So I'll go like this. Who was the last king of Klal Yisrael? And the kids sit there and they're guessing. And the kids, unfortunately, don't know any Navi sometimes. So whenever I ask a riddle from Tanakh, you get to see which schools are really learning. I'll say, who was the second king of Klal Yisrael? So the kids are like this. Yesterday I was in yeshiva. I had a candy in my hand. And I said, who could tell me Eliyahu Hanavi's Rebbe? A kid came, a troublemaker type of kid, by the way, but this got his attention too. Right. And he tells me, Elisha. I said, Elisha was his Talmud, who was his Rebbe. The kids were pulling their hair, and I'm like about to open the candy and eat it. Anyone know? And they're like guessing. And then I say, Achia Shiloni. Now the wild thing is that even when I said the answer, they didn't know what I was talking about. But that's why I like asking riddles. It gets the brain to think, and maybe one day they'll remember there was a person named Achia Shiloni. Maybe they'll find out more information about him. So the riddle forces you to think. I'll give you, I guess, another example. Which Masechta of Shas, of Mishnayos, is a story? It's a story. So the kids are sitting there thinking, and the answer is the Rambam says that Masechta Midos is the story about the Beis HaMikdash, the architecture of it, the rooms, what was each room. It's a tour guide. Masechta Midos is a storyteller. And speaking of storyteller, everyone got off on this riddle. I said, when is there a mitzvah of show and tell? So the kids are thinking show and tell.
Pesach night.
Oh, very good. Pesach night. You have a mitzvah to show the matzah and tell your kids how the Yidden suffered and Hashem saved us. Show the maror and say this was breakfast, lunch, and supper. And it's you show them, and that's why I like Torah shows. Because when you show people the picture, they'll remember it forever.
I heard one of your shows before Pesach when you were like, who wrote the Agada? And no, I think the best one I heard was the Chad Gadya. Do you remember what you said about Chad Gadya? Explaining what Chad Gadya really was? Or not?
That's a gra. The Vilna Gaon says what the Chad Gadya is a mashal to the nations. Yeah, so there's really a lot of Torah out there. I turned my book into, it's called Terrific. Reb Gifter gave the name. Because when I went to him for Haskama, he kept on saying, terrific, terrific. So I named the book Torah-ific, because he had a Virginian accent.
And now it says you have an app for
That's
an
right.
iPhone.
That's right. For 99 cents, you can download an app where you push it. Right here, it says Terrific. And you get, every day, you get riddles. And the
how
riddles
many,
are on
how many riddles are there?
There's 60 per parsha, and since we have over 50 parashiyos,
wow.
we're talking about 3,000 questions and riddles. And a lot of people love these riddles because when you come to the Shabbos table, you want to ask the guests, the company, your wife, the children, a riddle to see if they're thinking. So you pull it out. You can't pull out this on Shabbos, but at least before Shabbos, you have a chance to open it up and you get to see some good riddles. So it's a good item.
Well, on behalf of Klal Yisrael, I'd like to thank you. And I'd like you to keep up the good work.
Yes.
It's very hard making entertainment educational for today's...
That's right. A lot of competition. But anyway, Ura, I hope that one day you'll show Torah shows around the world, because if anyone could do it, it's you. And Hashem should always bless you to have Siyata D'Shmaya, making Yiddish Kindlech realize how lucky they are to be the Am Hashem. Lots of luck to all our donors and those that really stand with Ura in these tough economic times to build a better future for Klal Yisrael.
Maimon, I'd like to give you the honor of reading winner number 4.
Okay, here we go. Winner number 4. Wow, this is not a fix. Okay, in Israel, how do they know about this in Israel?
Internet's a strange thing.
Okay, her name is Ricky Karvitz. Ricky Karvitz in Israel. Mazel tov. Use it for good things.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Maimon.
Pleasure. Hope to see you around.
Appreciate it. Rabbi Maimon, ladies and gentlemen, please head over to oorah.org. Make sure to enter your chance to win the Chinese auction up to $1 million. That's right. Amongst trips to Yisrael and Svarim and Shetlach and everything else. We're broadcasting live from Delhi 52, where the Oorah laptop giveaway will continue until 10 tonight. Remember, Delhi 52 in the heart of Borough Park, 50% off your order today. oorah.org. Enter your chance to win. You could keep entering to win a laptop or an iPod till 10 o'clock tonight. Check out this video from the Shmorg. We'll be back at the top of the hour with Rabbi Moshe Meir Weiss.
Amazing.